Hi everybody, this is Dr. Mac at PacificEastAquaculture.com. Got a new batch of cultured Maxima clams from our farm in French Polynesia. They're really nice size this time. They're all about at least I'd say 2.5 inches to about 3.5 inches. Some are slightly larger than that. This is the what you see is what you get selection. Right now I just put a photo of each tray up on our website with numbers that correspond to each clam. I'll probably go back this week now that they're open up a little bit more, slightly less reactive, and shoot individual photos on them and post those. But the first few days are just so reactive to, as you can see, to just me moving anywhere near them. It's kind of hard to get really good close-up individual photos. So anyway, we do have what you see is what you get group photos up on the website, and then we have the RPIC special, and that's these, and as you can see they're every bit as nice as the what you see is what you get ones. Some of the smaller ones are in here, which are more about maybe 2.25 to 2.5 inches, but most of these are probably about 3 inches as well. Really nice variety. Some are more turquoise, others are green, others are darker blue, and if you buy more than one, would definitely get you a variety of colors. So these are priced at $98. It's the RPIC special, and we have quite a few of them available. And then the what you see is what you get selection is priced at $169 each. And we even had a couple of specialty clams this time, the so-called chimera or two-faced clams, and that's these guys right here. You can see that one side of the mantle is one color and the other side is a different color. The larger one is already sold. This slightly smaller one in the center is still available. There's a truly rare. We usually only see one in about every 5 million or so, is what I've been told in the past when we were dealing with wild collected clams. These are cultured, so there's really no occurrence rate kind of set on those, but we just happened to get 2 of them this time. It's the first time I've ever seen them in cultured clams. These are some more of the RPIC selection. As I said, they're quite nice, lower in price, and again, we'll pick out a nice selection for you. So I've done some videos on clam care in the past. Let me reiterate a few things that seem to be very common misconceptions. Number one, these are cultured clams and they're fairly easy to keep. Unlike their wild collected counterparts, which we had done for many years, and at the time we were doing them, we were very careful about collecting them. Since then, it's been turned over to local fishermen, and they're just not nearly as careful with the wild clams because they're collected there as food. So we stopped doing those several years ago, and we only do the cultured clams. I went over to French Polynesia and helped them set up the farm. I met with the president of French Polynesia and the legislature to get some laws changed about exporting these smaller cultured clams, because by law you can't export clams smaller than 4.5 inches, but that was on the wild clams, and we explained to them that we actually are culturing these, and hobbyists would like to have a little bit smaller clam instead of a 6 or 7 or 8 inch wild collected clam. So we got that changed, and we're able to get these in, and we get them pretty regularly. Generally the clams at this size do not need to be supplementally fed. They live off the products of photosynthesis, so as much light as you can provide them, the better. They'll do well under metal halide or good LED lighting, strong LED lighting. Full spectrum is generally a little bit better than more blue for the clams, not only in that it has a little more intensity, but also they just don't look as well under solid blue. Something that's blue under solid blue LED just doesn't look quite right. It's a little bit darker. You really can't appreciate all the subtleties of the colors. So good lighting. They need to have firm substrate below them. So either if you place them on the rocks, make sure it's an area on the rock where they can't fall over. You don't want to have them falling upside down or tipping over or anything like that. The foot on the bottom is the sensitive area for the clam, and it wants to attach to something firm so that predators can't get in, and it has a firm base under it. So if you put it on the sand, put some rock rubble or one of those ceramic clam cradles underneath, and you should be all set. The best bet is to put them in one place that you think you'll like them in, and then just leave them alone. There's not a whole lot really known about diseases or other problems with clams. There's this so-called pinch mantle syndrome, but that's more or less just a symptom, kind of like when people talk about tissue necrosis on a coral. That's just a symptom of it dying, and it's the same thing with a clam. There is one parasite that's found in wild collected clams, and through the universities there in French Polynesia, they've had the stock at the farms tested, and they do not have that parasite in these clams. So generally these clams do very well. They also do better in tanks that aren't quite so pristine. In other words, you have a little bit of phosphate and nitrate, because they do utilize dissolved organics as well as the products of photosynthesis. And again, they do not need to be supplementally fed. If you're using some phytoplankton or other live foods, that's fine. I don't think they especially need it, but if you feel good about it, then go ahead and put that in. So again, this is Dr. Mack at PacificEastAquaculture.com. Go on our weekly specials page to check out the What You See Is What You Get, as well as the $98 R-Pick clam special. As you can see, we have lots of nice ones. Hope to hear from you soon. Take care.